In this video, a start is made on building the Exhill Works Shunter. But before any of this began, I doodled about in SketchUp and drawn the basic idea for the Works Shunter. So this is what it's going to hopefully look like. How well we stick to the original sketch remains to be seen, but you get the basic idea. So after a hunt for a suitable donor to provide a chassis, I picked up a Bachmann 6400 pannier tank, unused at a bargain price, complete with DCC port. This is a very nice model and a nice slow runner. Having removed the couplings and the body screws to release the chassis, the body was carefully packed away and some thought given to the chassis build. A section of 60 thou plasticard was cut at 55mm by 140mm long for the running plate. The centre section was then marked out and cut out to allow the motor block to sit inside at the same time, so small blocks were fabricated to sit on top of the chassis itself so the running plate could sit at the right height, allowing the KD couplings to fit underneath. Some scrap brass had a couple of 10BA nuts soldered in place, and these were then bonded to the running plate for the chassis to bolt into, along with a mount for the couplings made from some offcuts of Gauge-O brass rail. These were drilled and tapped for 10BA and bolted in place. The side frames were cut out of 60 thou plasticard and checked for size, marked out on the underside of the running plate. I then hunted up some spare 16mm white metal axle boxes I had cast many years ago, trimmed off the tabs so they would have fitted on a sole plate, and using these as a guide I bonded the side frames to the running plate, leaving them all to set up hard before final trimming to length on the ends. The running plate is built up with 60 thou and 30 thou plasticard, and then the side frames are sanded flat on the bottom edge. At which stage the chassis was set up with the driver to see how high the cab would be We're aiming for an overall height of 140mm. The buffer planks were then marked out and cut to size, and the coupling pockets cut out with the aid of a small chisel and filed to the finished size. The running plate edges are from a plastistrut section profile. These were then cut and bonded in place for final finishing trim. After the edges were sanded back to length, the buffer planks were set up and bonded in place. Then the buffer planks were given some rounded edge detail to finish them off. Once I was happy with the setup, the axle box centres were marked out and the centres for the axles on the Bachmann chassis marked onto the edge of the side frames. Following that, the white metal axle boxes were fixed in place with super glue. The angled sections on the chassis sides and the buffer planks were made up and dummy rivet heads fitted along with a section where a frame stiffener would be. Then a hunt in the spares box found enough parts to make up 4 lashing points with a drop-down chain link. So that's as far as I can go at the moment. I will return to this build. Meanwhile, feel free to comment. To keep up to date, make sure you subscribe.